Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for those of you that are itching to hear our Burnham and Berrow review, here it is. I am Golf Love UK, and this is my good friend, Pro Golf Critic, Jay. Well, let's start with.
I think we should give a little background.
You're not.
To the course.
I want 90 seconds on how much you struggled and hate carrying a golf bag on the journey.
No. All right, I guess we can start there if you want.
You look fully disheveled when I met you. You're like, I hate carrying this golf bag. I hate carrying this golf bag.
I was. So you talk about when we played the little 9-hole?
No. When I picked you up from the train station, you look like You were already moaning about the golf bag at that point.
No, I was very against. Like, generally speaking, when I'm traveling and like I have to take a train, I have to take several trains and like transfer, and I have luggage and I have like all this other stuff with me and no one to help. Like, it's just a nightmare. And I happen to pick like one of the warmest days in London of the year. So I was pouring sweat. It was just a whole scene. I didn't love that. However, in the end, luckily, it was totally worth it. So, but yeah, next time I definitely think I'm going to do ship sticks, because the one thing I loathe probably more than anything is like trying to lug by clubs on public transportation.
So Liz or I have got to wait in for the sticks to arrive at our house, have we? That sounds fair.
Either that, or if we play wherever, Sunningdale, like I could ship to Sunningdale. I'm sure they'd be fine with it. So yeah.
Right. I want to talk about the round. I want to talk about everything, but I want to talk about the course. But the first thing I want to talk about: have you ever seen 4 non-professionals ever hit 4 better tee shots on the first hole?
That was the
worst tee shot was 265 down the middle. Was the worst tee shot. Like, it was. The starter said I didn't see a 4-ball that good in the open qualifying. Like, he's like, he was the starter of the whole thing. That was, he said, I didn't see the group pros. Our worst one was 265 down the middle.
There were a lot of people around there too. Like, there was
watching.
A lot going on. There was a lot going on that opening tee shot. Like, it was, and yeah, we all just kind of stepped to the plate. And I mean, this is what happens when you have, guys that have played pro and semi-pro professional sport conjunction with someone that's played in a lot of tournaments. Like, it doesn't.
Trevor played semi-pro, high-end semi-pro football for like 20 years.
No, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So you have 3 semi-pro, semi-pros, and then one
full pro,
one amateur.
No. Well, Matt Maynard was one of the best county back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To ever play. Yeah, so like, it just. Yeah, like in his attitude, I love it.
Soccer. Yeah.
Those people, like they're just so much fun to play with. Anyway, let's talk about.
Trev sounded so much like Tommy Fleetwood. Like his voice, a dead ringer for Tommy Fleetwood. I don't know if they're from the same part of England or what it was, but like when I heard him talking, I was like, wait, is Tommy Fleetwood here? Like, who is that? And it was him. So. Yeah, that was fun to hear. So I love all the British accents. Every accent around the British Isles, like the little subtleties and differences, is really fun. So, for what it's worth.
So, where do you want to start? You were my guest. I told you I was going to get you to play a great course, and you loved it. So, do you want to talk at all about what do you want to talk about?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I think we should start with a little background of the course. Obviously, Burnham Berrow is one of the 4 final qualifying sites for the Open Championship, aka British Open, depending on where you live. And they just had it obviously here in July 1st. And it is like, if you're going to have qualifiers for some of these links courses, like, you should have it on a true links course, which is exactly what they do at Burnham Berrow. Actually, all the 4 final sites are all sort of traditional true links courses and really, really great tests. So yeah, so that was kind of the precursor. And then in terms of like guys that actually qualified, I know Anirban Lahiri played at Burnham Berrow he played really well, and top four got in, and there was a young amateur that just knocked him out. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it in. Except, yeah, so it's a great site. Scoring was definitely like a little bit of a premium. Apparently, they had like pretty easy conditions the day of the qualifier, generally speaking, because I feel like when we played it, like we got like every condition you could possibly imagine. Like it was like when we were on the range prior to the round,
we had all 4 seasons.
we really did. We really did. It was actually I'm going to share what the opening tee shot looks like. Let me see if I can find that. There it is. Let's see if we can do that. So yeah, this is our opening tee shot, first hole of Burnham and Berrow. It is like just a gorgeous links hole, not too long. It's about 390 from the tee that we played. Except while we were on the range, it was like pretty calm, and we were talking about, oh yeah, like we're getting really lucky. Like it's no wind, like it's gonna play pretty easy. Just as we step up to the first tee, all of
Well,
a sudden the wind.
it wasn't quite the first tee. It was when I came over to you and Matt, and you were on the chipping green. And I walked to the chipping green. I was like, "Oh, there's a bit more wind than we had before." And in the like
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes from there, by the time we walked to the first tee, it was like a 1.5 club wind. And then it got up to like a 2.5 club wind.
Yeah, it was that kind of had a little bit of it was an ominous start because the wind that first hole just like started, the velocity started increasing where like the tee shot wasn't too bad. Actually, I've got a photo of the flags blowing. This was on the first tee. So you can see like there's a healthy breeze, but it was nothing crazy when we're teeing off. It was definitely playing straight into the wind, so it was playing a little longer than the yardage, and it was kind of a tough tee shot because like you couldn't really tell exactly where you had to hit it overall. There's a bunker out there about 280 that you want to either stay short of, or you can maybe challenge it on the left.
But do you know
Yeah.
do you know anyone that decided to challenge that bunker on the left and hit their drive about 290 down the mid? Do you have any co-host of a podcast that hit it 290 into the wind just to the left of that bunker? Do you know anyone like that?
No, it was a. I will give you full credit. You hit a great tee shot on this hole. You hit a driver. You stepped up there confidently. I actually wound up hitting a 3-wood because trying to play a little smarter, play short of that bunker because you do not want to be in these fairway bunkers on this course. Like that much
Look,
I
if
knew
I
for a
knew I
fact.
could have got to that bunker, if I knew I was going to hit it that well, I wouldn't hit a driver because
That's fair.
I had a gap of what was it, 11 yards from the edge of the fairway to the edge of the bunker. Like it is narrow
Yes,
at that point there.
it was.
But
Yeah, it
look,
was definitely. Yeah, yeah.
I
It was a
think the
tough
thing
shot,
that
but yeah, it was impressive.
and like look, we'll skip to the very end of the round. Just so people know, I shot 9 over. My handicap on the world handicap system goes up to a 10. I was playing off a 6.2 that day. My handicap goes up to a 10 on that course. I shot 9 over, so I shot 1 under my handicap. You shot a 5 over, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah,
You shot 5 over,
but
but
also like I was.
you had 2 different 9s. Like
Yeah, I felt.
you had 2 different 9s. I
Yeah,
was better on the back 9, as were you, but your back 9 and your front 9 were completely different.
yeah. I'll be totally honest. Like I felt completely out of my depth on the front end. I felt so just out of sorts. And this is why links golf to me is like the ultimate like mental test. And I hadn't played a true links course. Yes, I've played Bandon Dunes, which is more of a modern links here in the United States, about 5 years ago. Except I hadn't played a traditional sort of old school links course. It had been 9 years, and I had completely forgotten like how I needed to play this course. It reminded me so much of my first experience when I played Western Gales in Scotland in 2016, where like you get on the tee and like first of all the mental test is you have no idea where to actually hit the ball. It's like where am I actually hitting it? So and then you start getting conditions where it's like, man, this wind is like I feel like it's blowing into every single hole, and just like the velocity started increasing during the front 9, and and like I wasn't hitting it well. I mean, yeah, I sprinkled in a birdie on the third hole because I hit a great drive, but like I striped my drive and it only went about 250, 260 maybe. And then I hit a nice little wedge in there, 50-degree wedge to about 3 feet. I made the birdie. But outside of that hole, it was straight into the wind for about 8 holes. The velocity starting on that second tee shot was just like, oh my God. And like I started hitting like 2 or 3 just horrendous drives. And I was like, man, you need to like get it together, or else you're not even gonna break 85 out here. Like you need to really get it together. So, except that to me is like the ultimate test of links golf, is because it's like when you get the conditions, it's like you're not only fighting your own game, you're fighting the course, you're fighting the conditions, you're fighting the changing conditions too, and like how the holes are like slightly into the wind or like straight into the wind, like that the angle's a little different too. Like it's just such a cool experience, and it's something that like resonates with me, that like, and it resonates with the two of us, and it's part of the reason why links golf is so great.
Yeah, we're not going to do a hole by hole, blow by blow account, but I just want to run through a couple of holes. Those people haven't played it. Look, if you've not gone to play it, you should play it. And the reason I think you should play it, one is a nice tightish par four. You can lay back of that bunker, nice big green, big bailout area right, we can chip up and down from. Two is a three-tiered green. Again, a big wide fairway. 3 is a very odd par four in the sense that it's completely blocked out on the right hand side, but the green is in a bowl. So if you do what I did, you can send it out right and then just have a rough idea of where you're going to go. And if you're a little bit short, a little bit long, the bowl will save you. You've got a very, very forgiving par five on as hole 4. And I think the 4 holes that open up, they aren't easy, but they have good misses, don't they? And they're very linksy. The wind is in your face. The wind's across you a bit as well. And they're very, very forgiving. And then you get to hole 5, which is a bitch of a par 3. It's 194. We played it into the wind. We played it was 178. It was right at the front of that tee. And we played it 178 to the flags. The flag was right at the very front right. It was 178 playing 210 with a wind. And Jay, you ended up hitting an absolute shovel to the right, didn't you? You just pushed it.
it was
You hit a
it was pin
horrible
high.
push right. It
It
was
was the
pin
exact
high.
number.
It was the
Yeah.
exact number, but 28 yards right. And you somehow managed to get down in 4, which I will never know on God's earth how you got that down in 4.
It was not easy. It was a horrible spot.
It really starts to kick your ass at that point. And and 5 is tough, 6 a tough par 4 into the teeth of the wind,
God.
long up there.
6 and 7.
And 7's a brutal hole with just OB left, water on the right, wind's out. When it starts to turn that corner, the wind is out of like 10 o'clock. So it's a little bit of hurt, but it's just big left to right with, and you can't, and you don't feel you can be confident to try and draw it into that wind and hold it because it's OB all down the left. And you're terrified of starting it down the left just in case the wind doesn't buff it because of it being OB. And if you start it down the middle, it's going to end up in the water. It's a fantastic course. And anyone who lives in the UK, if you've not played Burnham, you really should. There are some fantastic twilight packages. We're not being paid by Burnham, and they didn't give it us for free. I'm just saying it out of my love of golf. You should go and play it. Some fantastic twilight packages. It's like I think it's like 45 or 50 quid if you play after 3 o'clock in the evening, in the afternoon.
That's great.
I can't remember what it is. I should check before I make that up.
Yeah. You can't find that in the US. That's hard to find in the US. So yeah. But I will say
it's a superb place to go. Yes, it's £50. It's £50 after after 3 o'clock per
Okay.
person. And if you go in a four ball, it yeah. So where am I looking here? So it's 50 quid after 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So just to sort of wrap up the front nine, my favorite hole on the front nine, even though it completely kicked my butt, was six. So six, it was playing straight into the wind. I mean, it's only 434 on the card, except I mean, it had to be playing 480, 490. Like I hit striped the tee shot, hit it really well, and I had a 4 iron left. Like it was an intense it was an intense shot. So except the way that green is sort of framed, like there's some sand dunes in the background that you kind of have to navigate. There's like just a bunch of trash to the left that I wound up hitting in, but luckily I got it, near the green and sort of got it um, up and in after that. For it was actually a really good bogey because it felt like a par five for sure. So yeah, that hole on the front nine is probably gonna stick with me. I mean, obviously the birdie's gonna stick with me as well. But yeah, just a great hole, and yeah, great front nine. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I was 5 over par through 8 holes, actually 5 over through 7, and with that birdie. So that just shows you it was very very difficult. So yeah, really enjoyable front nine. Of like, it started getting my head for sure. Like I was really struggling, but I was like, look, you just got to suck it up now. Like you got to start playing better. And luckily when we started making the turn, and the wind was a little bit more helping, like it started to get a little bit easier. So and we
I
wanted
actually,
to take advantage.
I actually think part of it was you're up and down on nine because you an absolute thin. I can't emphasize how good a ball striker you are. It was just the wind that was the problem. Your ball striking is elite,
Got in my head.
and
Got
then
in my head.
you stepped onto nine. The wind died down and hit like you hit one at the bottom groove and just knifed it into the greenside bunker. Like it's an elevated tee. Thank God it's an elevated tee because you got it 1 foot off the ground.
I mean, it was a little hot.
But
You're exaggerating, but yeah, it wasn't a great shot. It was terrible.
you got up and down from that pothole bunker so well, and it was almost as soon as you did that, it was almost like you went, well, I can't hit a ball any worse than that, and I've made par. I've been it well all day, and all of a sudden you just relaxed into your day, and you instead
Yeah,
of blistering back nine.
that's exactly how links golf is. Sometimes like you gotta figure out like a way to change your mental game around, and like yeah, just hit a bad tee shot on nine, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this up and down. It was a tough lie in the bunker, but I hit it to 10 feet, made the putt, and then all of a sudden it's like I felt a little bit of momentum, and I was like, all right, you need to start hitting some good shots here. And we started turning downwind, and then we had number 10 stands out to me as well. Like it's a shortish par four, but it's a perfect links hole because it's a completely blind tee shot. You got two poles that sort of tell you where you have to hit it, and I hit a forehand, just absolutely blistered it straight through the poles, right in the fairway. I mean, that forehand. Now we're going downwind. I was hitting my forehand longer than I was hitting my driver on the front. So that forehand probably went about 275. Had a wedge in. I started getting to a rhythm. I made par there, and I made pars throughout the rest of the night. So yeah, it was yeah. But 10 stands out to me. The par threes on the back really stand out to me too. Like, I mean, just really, you have to hit some quality shots to hold those greens. Like, was playing a little bit downwind, and we started getting a little bit of rain on 12 and 13, and it was just like it was starting to get like I was hopeful that we would have more downwind the last 5-6 holes, so we could like take advantage of it a little bit more. But the wind like kind of completely died on us once the rain came. So um yeah, but 13 was a really interesting hole two, par five. It was playing downwind, and I finally started getting like a little confidence with the driver, and I just absolutely nuked one. I probably hit like 340, but it wound up in a horrendous spot where I couldn't even really advance it. Like a little bit of heather, where it's like I don't even know how to play this. I
Which
wound
hole
up
was that
making it a
again?
par, but yeah, that was 13.
I was 13. Yeah, we had wind behind, and you caught the top of that slope, and you ended up in that shit. And yeah,
Because I thought it was perfect. I
Yeah,
thought it was perfect because I just absolutely nuked one. It was the best driver of the day, probably just a little fade, just like absolutely blistered, and just like was in a spot that was like, oh my god, how am I going to play this? So
and then
yeah,
and then we look. You level par for that back nine. I parred. I was one over for 13 through 18. So for me, look, I was really happy with that. And I actually think, by the way, I've just checked. I got the prices wrong. I do apologise. That was a member's guest. If you're an out and out visitor, it's £95 per person after 3 o'clock, which to play an open qualifying venue is an absolute steal. Just go and
yeah,
do it.
yeah, it's great.
But I think. Hang on, can I share my screen? I don't know how it works. Actually, if I send you a link rather than me do it, I know
Sure.
actually it doesn't even look very good on what I'm trying to show, so I don't even know why I'm trying to bother. Hole 16, hole 17, and hole 18 might
Great
be
holes.
might be three of the best finishing holes I've ever seen.
So
You've got a really gettable, beautiful par four with what can only be described as a bitch of a green. You then got a 200-yard par three. You are elevated by about 5 yards of carry. You've got the wind behind you predominantly. So it was 201.
So
It was
hard to hold that
201 for
green.
us. It was 201. It was showing measuring downhill is like 196, 194,
Something
taking
like that.
seven off. And then it was about a club of wind. And we got so much to think about. And the only thing
It
you
was
need to
my
think
favorite
about
shot. It
is
was my
connection.
favorite shot that I hit. It was my favorite shot that I hit all day because I saw your shot. I mean, you hit a great iron. I don't know if it was a 6 or 7, but you hit it straight at the flag. You probably landed.
Careful. It was an 8.
But
It was a
was
7.
it 8?
It was
Okay.
it was a 7.
All
I just
right.
wanted
Yeah,
you
it was a
going.
7. Okay. But yeah, when I saw that you hit it within like 3 feet of the hole, but it bounded over the green, I was like, oh man. So like, I
Before you
went
said
in. I
anything
was
else,
like,
I did get up and down.
you did. You did.
Yeah.
That's true. So I was like, all right, that changed my sort of strategy. I was like, all right, I need to hit like a softer shot, a fade, put some spin on it, kind of hit this little slope on the left. And it came off exactly the way I wanted to hit a little fadey 6-iron right at the left side of the green with enough spin to hold that green. It kicked a little bit to the right, so it was a little closer to the hole. Had about 20,
Was it
25 feet.
was it Matt or Trevor that buried in the front left-hand bunker but got up and down for what might be the best, maybe be one of the best up and downs I've ever seen
Yeah, that was a
in
tough spot.
person?
That was a
Was
really
it?
tough
It
spot.
was
I was
Matt,
glad I
wasn't it?
wasn't down there. I
It
think
was
so.
Matt.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Like
it was Matt.
I was like, he's got to be. As you're looking at it, he's got to be 10 yards short, 15 yards left. In a bunker, he can only just see the top of the flag, where everything's sloping away from him once it lands, and managed to somehow get up and down. Like it was a.
Yeah, it's great.
And then
We made some great. Yeah, that was a great one. That was a great hole. I really enjoyed playing that hole.
we can talk about 18, but one of my favorite
You want to talk
lines
about
was
18 for sure.
one of my favorite lines was the line I took wasn't described as confident; it was described as arrogant, and no, no one thought he was going to make the carry. But all three of you hit yours, and we drove down and found my ball in the middle of the fairway. Now to carry it, we looked at it. The carry was 294. I know I had wind behind me, but the line I had to carry it on was a 294 carry. And
I mean,
you when I hit it, you were like, there was nothing
I
left
didn't
in
know.
me.
I didn't know
No, but I mean,
because
as
I
my,
thought I
my
took
connection,
Oh, yeah.
you were like,
No, it was great.
you can't hit a ball better than
It
that.
was great. No, it was great. It was great. Because I thought I took a pretty aggressive line and I had 150, 160 left. You went like 30 yards left of that line. I was like, where are you even hitting it? Like, because I got a little bit of advice for
Trevor Matt, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I know I can. I know I can carry it. Like no one can carry it. I'm like, I can carry
But
it.
if I go back, I'm taking that line because I'm like, yeah, because like you want to give yourself a birdie chance, and I wound up, like I said, had about an 8 iron in, and I fanned it a little to the bunker. Except again, I love links bunkers because there's
Yeah.
just something about it. I
You.
feel so confident in there, and I got up and down for a par.
Yeah, how to describe your links bunker play? It's almost like childlike fun. When you're in them, it doesn't look like you're worrying and grinding. It looks like you're just
Yeah.
happy to be in them. Like
That's
as
a
do
great way
you,
to
do you know what I
say it.
mean? Do you mean like you're like oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is fine, hit it out. Like there's no like, oh god, I'm not sure about this, or where's my weight, where's this, what's my contact, where's my entry point. You just stand up, look at the ball, hit it, out it comes.
It's really enjoyable. No, I love links bunkers. They're firm. They're predictable. They are challenging, except the way I play bunker shots, I feel like it's always like it's always doable around the greens. So yeah, I always feel pretty confident in my bunker play, and just chipping now, like I feel a lot more confident with my Vokies, and I was able to get up and down a lot. So yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence, and yeah, I was really impressed. Your ball striking has elevated since the last time we played. There's no question about it. You even outdrove me in a couple holes, and I was a little upset about that. I was like, man, maybe I need to look at that ping driver. So yeah, shout out to ping because they're definitely that ping driver is serving you really well.
Mate, I can hit anyone in the face, which is fine.
I know. That's why I
Anyone on
need
the
it. That's
face.
why I need it. So I
Hit
can
anyone in
wail
the
on it
face, and
again.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to Trevor for having us, and Matt
Yeah.
for joining us. It was really good
Agree.
fun.
Agree.
I would love us to one day have the budget to actually record some of those things. Like I've said many times, NLU, some of the stuff they've done with Tourist Source, they go and cover courses. Like it's
No, it's
great.
good.
I think
That's the best thing they do.
people love to see that type of content. I think it'd be really good for us to try and get some of that stuff out. I am hoping that next year, and we've had the green light to do it, we can do 4 or 5 holes and play them at JCB and get a little bit of our own coverage out about that, which would be lovely.
That'd be cool.
Jay, as I'm listening, talking to you now, fifth joint lowest round today on Live right now, and day 2 at Chicago is AK. I don't
Really?
understand it. Yeah, I don't understand his golf. Like he's the joint 5th lowest round of the day at 3 under.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's
Wow.
it's
Just never
it's
know.
his game is there. He's just having one
I
shocker, which
know.
is
It's
11
so
over and
weird.
kills him.
I know. Yeah, because he's had a little bit of neck and back stuff going on, and you just never know when you're gonna wake up. When you get in your 40s, you just never know. But yeah, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting last little push here. But yeah, Mrs. is calling me, so I do have to go. But yeah, thank you again for
I should be in
the
bed.
invite. Yeah, it was a great round at Burnham and Berrow. Shout out to them. We'll definitely come back another time. And yeah, I really hope that the open qualifier goes back again and again and again because it's
I
just a
think
great
it is
course.
it is confirmed for 2026, so that's good.
Good.
And also, Mrs. Pro Golf Critic, she does know that she's coming next time, doesn't she? To UK.
We shall see about that. But yeah, she's very, very excited about that. So,
All right, take care. Love you all. Take care. Goodbye.